Greetings! In today's video, I'm gonna be taking a look at something quite unique in my opinion. So what I have here is a vintage set of Talens watercolors. I have some extra pans. It's a pretty straightforward set. You have round pans in kind of a sort of a railroad tray that is not removable. It's a vintage set, so it has a bit of wear and staining, and that's really not an issue. I have a couple of extra pans that I'm excited to take a look at. I got this set from Claire Chi. If you are unfamiliar with her work, she's a really talented artist, but she also makes beautiful handmade sparkly paints. And she also scored a lot of vintage Talens paints. And at some point she was doing a declutter and she was trying to rehome some sets, and I really liked the look of this one. And I wanted to give it a new home. So it's a pretty simple palette. It doesn't really clip shut, just like closes like this. Like if I keep it upside down, the lid is gonna fall off. And the black paint too, apparently. You can see it has a thumb ring at the bottom. Overall, it's in really good shape. So I'll be swatching this. I'll also be opening these extra pans. There are some colors that are the same, like this is violet and this is violet, but it's not really useful for me to have these in the packaging. So I'll open these up and swatch them along with the rest, and we can compare exactly if the color match or not. And welcome back! So I am done with my swatches and my demo paintings of this set. I was able to add in the extra pans that I had, except for the really big one. So looking at the swatches here, this is the main set that I've just shown you. These are the 3 extra pans that I had. They are definitely the same colors as the one in the set. Like, there's no doubt about that. The name is the same, the hue is the same, everything is the same. These were really easy to re-wet. I didn't have any issue working with them. There is no pigment information as far as I can tell, but if we look at the tin, you can see how brightly pink it is stained. I don't know why exactly. My theory is that this bright neon pink comes from a dye that's possibly in the carmine color, because if you look at the swatch, it's the only one that has sort of this pink hue to it. But it could also be that someone put a different ink in there and that stained the palette, and it's not related at all to the carmine color. Now, I really like the selection of colors in this set. It doesn't really have sort of a cyan color, but it has a pretty nice magenta in this carmine color. The vermilion is also really nice. The cadmium yellow light is a decent neutral yellow. The ultramarine blue is very pretty. The Prussian blue was really fun and stunning and beautiful to use. So I had a lot of fun using these, and I made 2 paintings. I made this little insert here that you can see, and I also painted this, and I wanted just to showcase this one a bit, just to show how deep I was able to layer and to get those mixes. Like, this is mostly a mix of the Prussian blue and the burnt sienna. So this and this. And it gave me this beautiful deep blue-green color. And I was able to, you know, pile up multiple layers to get it to go super dark. It didn't streak, it didn't do anything weird. It layered on perfectly, like very, very smoothly, and it was a lot of fun to use. I also came back and used a bit of the white color with just a bit of the yellow in it for some little, you know, effects. But overall, a fairly simple drawing, and the paints behaved really well. For this little insert too, it was a lot of fun to use the paints, and that's about it. As this is a vintage set, I understand that this is not the most useful review ever. Mostly what I want to bring when I do reviews of vintage set is to showcase if the vintage paints are still good. That way, if you stumble upon a set in your attic somewhere or at a yard sale, you might be able to pick it up and give it a try and see for yourself that the old paints are also just as good as the newer stuff, if not better sometime. And especially for sketchbook work, this is you know, very, very serviceable. And that's it for my review of these paints. I hope this was interesting, at least a tiny bit. I would be super curious to know in the comments if you have a special set of vintage paints and what they are and how you came upon them, and just your general impressions if you've played with vintage paints too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye bye!